Welcome to Social Media Marketing. My name is Kareem Kanji, and I am your instructor for this course. So, welcome everybody. Here's a little bit of an agenda. We're going to do some introductions, housekeeping, cover some quick stats, and also give you an introduction to this wonderful tool that many of us are learning to use for the first time called Blackboard. So, who am I? My name, as I said, is Kareem Kanji. Presently, I am the digital content manager for Catalyst. You can check me out on Twitter at Kareem Kanji, as well as the agency that I work for at Catalyst_CA. You can get in touch with me if you have any questions or concerns in regards to the content or any assignments. If you need some clarity, reach me on my Gmail account. That is inspirationbykareem@gmail.com. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can go to my profile listed there. Just make sure that you let me know that you're connected with me via this course. And I also encourage all of you to join the Facebook group for this course, facebook.com/groups/GB9049, and you'll be able to connect with students previous, current, and future who will be taking this course. That's a great place where we're going to share a lot of up-to-date information, as many of you know or will soon find out. Things in social media can change daily, if not weekly and monthly, and of course, every single year. So join the Facebook group, ask questions there, post important links that's relative to what we're discussing. We're going to be discussing class topics, as well as it will give you an opportunity to practice social media networking. So, I introduced myself. Make sure you guys do the same as well. Many of you have already in the discussion forum. If you haven't, please let us know who you are, your name. Are you working towards the social media certificate or not? What other courses have you taken, social media wise, or even within the certificate? And I'd really love to know what your favorite tool or site is and why. Mine, if I haven't mentioned it in my introduction, is Twitter. It is my favorite. It was the one that I started using most actively, even though I was on Facebook first. That was probably the first modern social media networking site that I was on. I think I had a Friendster account, but I think that's all I did was get the account. But I love Twitter. Started using it with my feature phone before I got my smartphone. So back when Twitter was SMS based only, and I've just loved it ever since. And so I've actually been able to obtain a lot of my various business opportunities or career opportunities as a result of being active there. So I'd like to know what your favorite tool is and why. So let me know and let the class know as well. Here are some other courses within the social media certificate. There's a Facebook marketing, which is required. And also this course that we're in right now is required, as is the community management. As time goes on, some of these courses may or may not be required, but we also have Twitter marketing, which I taught 2 semesters ago. Social media metrics, we have an introduction to WordPress, which I highly encourage you guys to participate in, or to at least find out how to use and start using WordPress. And we'll talk more about that later on in this course. There's also digital strategies for fundraising for those of you in the nonprofit world. Also related to that, social media for social change, as well as digital storytelling. And again, some of these courses may change, whether they exist or not, or whether some of them will be required courses for the certificate. So a bit of an overview. We're going to talk strategy and tools. Approximately 50% of it will be on the strategy side, and 50% of it will be discussing the specific tools. So, Blackboard logistics. If you're like me, this is your first time using Blackboard. It is a love-hate relationship. It's a tool that we have to use. So I am learning to love it, but it also has a lot of bugs, and it's not as intuitive as we would like here in the social media world. So I'm not liking it as well. There is an expectation, though, that every week we contribute to an online platform in some capacity, so I highly encourage you, whether it is in the forums that we set up every single week or whether it's on the Facebook page. 1% every week will go towards you participating. So that's 14% of your mark is in participation. So it's a little bit every week, but it does add up to a lot. So a little bit of the Blackboard walkthrough. Signing in, you guys are going to have to learn or figure that out. I'm sure you have. If you are listening to this, I'll go to the student view so that you guys can see what I see. Never mind that this may or may not apply to you. I am teaching 3 courses in social media marketing, 2 online courses, and 1 in-class course. So this is just the A2428 course that I'm showing you. Here's the welcome note. You'll see an outline of the evaluation schedule. We'll check that out in a bit. The discussion board, make sure you go there every week. We'll talk about the book report. So Blackboard help for students. That's where you want to go. Let's see, clicking that if we actually find anything. We probably don't because there's probably nothing in there. But if you have any questions or concerns, let me just go back to my Blackboard so I can see exactly what we're looking at. If you have any, oops, hold on a second here. Let me just change it, return to teacher view. As you can see, I am still learning how to use this. But you'll see this help discussion down at the bottom on your left hand side. Just click on that. You'll have Blackboard help for students, and you will learn. Let's see if we can see that. I hope we can. So not right now, I'm probably not able to see it, but go to the help menu and you'll get most of, if not all of your questions answered there. If you don't, shoot me an email please, and we will try to resolve this as soon as possible. But this is what we're dealt with, and we'll use it to the best of our ability. So what is the definition of social media or social media marketing? Well, here's an online definition that we found. Andreas Kaplan and Michael Hainlein, hope that's a correct pronunciation, define social media as a group of internet-based applications that build on the ideological and technological foundations of Web 2.0 and that allow the creation and exchange of user-generated content. So if I were to erase all of this, the 6-7 words that you really need to know is this: the creation and exchange of user-generated content. So whether that content is created by the brand or whether it's created by the fans or the friends or the community, it's created by, if it's user-generated, so whoever's using it, the brand or the people, and they're also exchanging. So even though a brand might post something, the brand is going to hopefully listen and take into consideration what the community, or how the community is responding and what they're responding to, and things of that nature. But really when I talk about Web 2.0, if you go back to Web 1.0, that is where websites were static, forward-facing. It was a PR game, and really the brand controlled the message. So there was really no input or no response that you as a user could do outside of closing the window or exiting from that website or that web page. Today, what we call Web 2.0, or the social web now, it's really user-generated message. There's a group conversation. They talk about brands having no control, but people having more access, and there's a variety of different messages in a variety of different spaces. So you take a look at the diagram below, and there's a number of different what is called social media or user-generated content sites. Some of them you might know of, some of them you probably don't, and then there's others that I don't know if they exist anymore. Some social media facts. This video is in the link, so I highly encourage you to read, to listen to it and to watch it. And really, it's a parody of a video that's already out there that's made by the same person. Eric Qualman, I believe is his name, is how you pronounce that. And he takes a little jab at himself, or somebody else does, and he's posted this video up on his channel. But we're in this class, I think we're drinking the Kool-Aid that says that social media is a thing. People are utilizing it, brands are trying to figure it out as well. But seriously, it is happening, and it is making things move forward. And brands that sit and watch the game are going to see the game pass them by. So again, highly encourage you to watch this video as well. Technology will kill. So what is social media? Let's go through it again. It's a type of digital media that expedites conversation. So it allows the brand and the community to have a conversation. But more importantly, it allows the community to converse amongst themselves, as opposed to traditional media, which delivers content, right? So you might see a commercial, but it doesn't allow the reader, the viewer, the listener to participate in either the creation of that content or the dialogue around it. Some of you might see various other types of commercials, whether it is on places like YouTube or even on your television, where they encourage you to visit brand.com or to tag the music with a music identification app, such as SoundHound, I believe is one. The one that, let's see, that I enjoy using is Shazam. But really there's no dialogue. It's really a, hey, check us out. Here's more places where you can come to us. Social media marketing programs actually drive home the understanding that social delivery, the delivery of that message, is just one element in the larger communication strategy. So the understanding is that that brand that participates in a social media marketing program understands that there's going to be a back and forth and a dialogue between various people, whether that is their community or even other brands themselves. Corporate messages that spread from user to user within these networks because they resonate with the values of the individuals within the target group. So if your message doesn't resonate, people just will go somewhere else to have a conversation. So here's a theory. Moving beyond the jargon of engagement, conversation, influence, it comes down to this. Sociological, social psychology. What is it that people are interested in? What is it that people want to discuss and talk about? Why are they interested in your brand? Add that to computer-mediated communications. So it's taking these conversations that we already have face-to-face, in person, at the house party, in the club, at the bar, at work, at home, in the parks, during your commute to and from work, and now bringing that into the online space, manifesting in tools like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, BuzzFeed, various blogs that you might read, Vine, and even Google+. By the way, if I'm talking too fast, leave me a note and I'll make sure on the next video that I slow it down a bit. And of course, it changes daily. The old marketing, monologue, one-way marketing, mass communications, it was static, no interaction among customers, shotgun approach, in and out, was hard to identify who our customers were, and if customers did interact, they were a nuisance. But not just that changing daily, but we're going to be sharing a lot of information, and a lot of the real-time, just happened information might not be in these videos. It might not be in the slide deck, but I will share links, I promise you, on our Facebook group and sometimes in the Blackboard discussion. That's where we'll get the real up-to-date, what's the latest, newest thing that Facebook just went through. In fact, if we go to that Facebook page now, here it is. Let me just refresh this, and you will see that Amanda Monday, who is the course instructor before me, posted something about a free event that's happening, socialmediato.com. But I also posted something. Twitter and Amazon are hooking up. Oh, that's down here. So check out this link, Forbes.com, and check out what hashtag Amazon Carts is all about. So this is just an example of some of the up-to-date information. This was shared 2 days ago. Amazon steps into social selling on Twitter with hashtag Amazon Carts. So take a read, watch the video, and understand some of the things that are upcoming that you could learn and possibly imitate and implement with the companies and brands that you are working with and working for. So let's go back to our online presentation. So this is what I mean by changes daily. The new marketing, it's a dialogue, it's one-to-one, it's real-time communication, it's dynamic. There's collaboration between customers, talking to the brand and requesting different things. Segmented, brands can now segment who they want to talk to, when they want, what the offer is going to be. There's rich customer data and targeting. You know exactly who's coming to your website because you're telling them, right? You're putting in your birthday. You're telling them you're male or female, what your job is, what your education is. But when you see a billboard, they don't know who you are. And the customer interactions can be solutions, and they can actually be seen by all. This is another amazing video that has been shared in your Blackboard. Let me just make sure that it's there. Otherwise, we will watch it. So let me just click here. So you see some of the videos are here. Technology will kill, social media facts. Oh, and this one isn't there. So let's watch this. This is a very interesting video, and I think you guys will get a lot out of it. So let's watch it together. Hope you'll be able to hear it. If you can't hear it, just go to this link and watch it. That's very interesting. And well, let me just go back to here. I think the important message here is to be able to inform and inspire to gain support for your brand. And I know the narrator was talking about it's probably more important to be the first follower than the leader, but there's no first follower without a leader. And don't want to go in circles arguing any point there, but really, as you start putting your toe into the social media pool, I think the name of the game is to be able to do these two things: inform your community, but at the same time inspire them to start interacting and support your brand, whether that is something as simple as liking or retweeting or plus wanting your content, or whether it's take it to the next step and then sharing that content. The only way that happens is by providing timely, relevant, important, valuable, consumable, and findable content. So just dance. So, what is known as conversational media, social media sites, and blogs, obviously have a high reach and demographics across Canada. So take a look at some of these numbers. 98% of persons between the ages of 2 and 17 utilize this media. I don't know what a 2-year-old would use. Maybe they're sitting on mom and dad's lap. This is all from ComScore. 99% of households with no presence of children are on social media. 99% of persons 55 plus with high income, which is defined as $60,000 plus, are on social media. LinkedIn probably has a role to play there. Every single female between the ages of 18 and 34, according to ComScore, are on social media in Canada. Every single one of you. 98% in British Columbia, and 97% of males 55 plus are on social media. It looks like the women are beating out the men. So here's a report card. Latest stats that I could find were 2012 for all of these sites. There's probably more current data, especially for Facebook and Twitter, seeing as they're public companies. Oh, so is LinkedIn, I guess. Actually, all of these guys, right, except Pinterest. So, some winners and losers, according to this document, and I apologize, I forgot to put the source on this one. But if you take a look at it, they're rating Pinterest as the fastest growing, probably because they're one of also the youngest, but it's a very simple platform to use. But take some time after this video and take some time on this slide to understand these 5 platforms and what they have going for them and not. Personally, I use all of them except not as much Pinterest. Facebook I now use just for business or for this class. I don't use it personally anymore. LinkedIn is sort of like professional home on the web. Google Plus, not too much interaction, but a lot of the stuff that I post there tends to be viewed. And again, you know that my favorite tool is Twitter, so I'm on there either with informative things or most likely, as most of my friends would say, posting a whole lot of nothing. That's okay. This is interesting. So here's Amanda Mundy if you wanted to know what she looks like. And this is a slide on Bitly. And I think it's very important. And I know there's a lot of tools out there. But what we're going to do in this class is we're going to use Bitly. So I want you to pause this. Go to bit.ly, create an account. You can sign in with Twitter. And be able to shorten your URLs and track the performance of these URLs. So that you can understand if you're posting something on Twitter or on Facebook, on an email, or even on your blog, understand which URLs are doing well and which activities that you're participating in are doing well. So I'll give you an example. Let's see if I can find my Bitly account. Here we are. So you can see I'm logged in up in the top right hand corner. And so this is some information that I've shared. So this is a white paper that my company came out with that I shared on Twitter and LinkedIn. They got 32 clicks, as you can see there. But not only that, if I view the stats, and I haven't shared this piece of content in a while, so you can see that it was mostly around March. You can see that Twitter was the most popular place that it was used. And the various countries, it looks like other people were sharing it as well. But yeah, here's where, let me just turn this off. So just my Bitly, as you can see. So I can see that even though I shared it mostly on Twitter, and I actually did on LinkedIn, it actually got a kick through Facebook. So this could tell me something in terms of where I'm sharing links. If I'm getting nothing from LinkedIn, then maybe that's not the place I need to share anything, or maybe it's where I need to share this type of content. But even if we go down to, let's see, so these, yes, so these three links, my blog, my LinkedIn, and my Twitter, these are all shared in my email signature. So as I can see, people are more interested in my blog than Twitter, and not so much in LinkedIn. It's kind of interesting. So if I want to see on Twitter, or I guess let's go to my blog and see the stats there. So not too much, but kind of steady, anywhere between 0 to the max 5 links, and I guess that's the most recent. April? Oh, yeah. So nothing in May so far, but April 29th I had 5 clicks. Most of it from Canada, some United States. I know nobody in the Philippines. I know a couple of people in Taiwan, a couple of people in Kenya. I don't know anybody in no location. So it's interesting to see if things are working or not. I could put, kareemkanji.wordpress.com, but I'm not going to know where people are coming from. I know these are all from my email signature. So that's how you can use Bitly. Understand what's working, what's not working, and why things are working. So let's use Bitly from now on. And as presentations come due, I want to see this use of Bitly as well. Mobile use. Mobile is very important. Why? Because more people are on the go. They're carrying their mobile device, and social is mobile and mobile is social. The majority of people going onto Facebook, onto Twitter, utilizing Instagram, Vine, are all doing it from their mobile device. Week 1 assignment. Let's talk about assignments now. Here's what I want you to do, guys. I want you to select a social media book that you have not read before on the topic of social media. So the title, author, publisher, ISBN number. We need to have a brief summary of the book. And I want you to tell the class why you selected this book utilizing Blackboard discussions. It says or in class. As I told you, I'm doing also an in class, so this slide will be shared, and they don't have to use Blackboard. So the online class, there's going to be an online survey in Blackboard. Make sure that you see that, whether it's this week or next week. But this is the assignment. So pick one, let me know what it's about, and tell everybody why you selected the book. This, you don't need to know too much of it, but I would like to let you know that you want to participate. Participation is huge and it's mandatory. If you don't participate, you don't get the mark. So why don't we take a quick look in here at our course overview so that you can see how we are marking this course. Let's see here. It's not in here. Hold on, let me just go back to Blackboard. Take a look at, I guess everything's available now. Oh, wonderful. Here we go. Outline evaluation. Let me take a look at it as a student. You know this is raw when I don't have everything set up. Okay, here we go. By the way, here's my email. Make sure you note it. This is how you get in touch with me most effectively. You guys can go through this, but here's how we're marking it. 10% for a term test. Homework assignments, that's going to be ongoing. It's going to be worth 35%. Your digital book report is going to be worth 11%. You're going to get 1% for selecting something, and you're going to get 10% for the report. Online participation is worth 14%. That's basically 1% every single week. And your major project, which I need you to start thinking about now, we'll talk about it next week, is going to be worth 30%. Alright, so let's move on. Okay, here we go. So, the digital book report is this. Report on your readings and complete a report that describes the book's core message about the digital space, and then summarize your supplemental findings and analysis by reporting it in a digital format. So here's what I mean. You must use at least 2 social media tools. Here's an example. You might put together an online photo gallery of relevant images that speak to your learning and the book's content. And number 2, you might include also a short blog post comparing what you think about what the author talked about, whether you agree or disagree or want to comment on the author's key points. Another example, you could put together your digital book report as a video blog, a Pinterest board, or a Tumblr style blog. If you just tweet and just do Facebook posts, that is not going to be sufficient for the digital version of the report. You can, however, use it as supplemental content. Here are 4 books that I've read. There's more that I've read. You could choose between these ones or some of the books that are in the course outline, or really anything you want to, as long as it's around social media. So the first book here, Hatching Twitter by Nick Bilton. He's a New York Times writer. It's actually not a social media how-to or 101 or this is what you need to do book, but it is an inside look at Twitter from the beginning to today, and it is a fantastic read. And even though the TV series is coming out, it won't be out in time for you to do a book report. So read the book. It's an amazing read. I highly encourage you, whether it's for this course or otherwise. Trust Agents, this is probably the best book to read on social media. Chris Brogan and Julian Smith are pioneers in the digital space. Julian is a great guy. I've actually had an opportunity to sit down with him. He lives out in Montreal. Has a new startup called Breather. But they talk about how to use the web to build influence, improve reputation, and earn trust. And if you choose this, you will be surprised by at the end of the book how much they focus on the web versus how much they focus on, I guess, doing what's right. There's also the popular Mitch Joel, who has written a book called 6 Pixels of Separation. This, in fact, was his first book. I also have a second book, which I haven't had an opportunity to go through yet. But even 6 Pixels of Separation is probably the best how-to let's get started book on social media. And then there's Twitterville, one of the earliest books I read on social media. fantastic. I think this is why Twitter is my favorite tool to use and has been since the beginning. So these are some recommended reading. I also highly recommend you digest these two pieces of content. So number one, probably the best blog on social media. Go to blog.bufferapp.com. It's also a great tool if you go to bufferapp.com. And we'll talk about that later in the course. But their blog is probably the best blog on social media. Probably the best thing to do is to subscribe to their blog so you get it in your email every single day or week. And the second thing is actually a podcast or a video show called This Week in Startups. So if you go to thisweekinstartups.com or search for it on YouTube or even in your favorite podcasting tool, it is great. They do talk about digital startups a lot, but there's also a lot of social media content in there as well that really give you a lot of insights. Both of these sources of information are invaluable to anybody who wants a career in social media or wants to supplement their career with a huge understanding of what's going on in the digital and social space. So we're nearing the end. Next week we're going to talk about social media strategy. We're going to talk about, I want you to go and visit this website, boxesandarrows.com. And this is how we're going to start designing a social media strategy. And this is what that website points to. It's designing. It's really what is called the informational architecture of social media. It's not just let's tweet out so people follow us. It's what actions and activities can we take to result in a ROI for our brand or business. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, email me or answer it in or ask it in the discussion board. But if you want to grab my attention, the best thing to do is to email me or send me a message on Twitter. If we follow each other, you can DM me. Thanks, guys. Look forward to chatting with you again next week. Have yourself an amazing weekend. Bye-bye.